What's up, weirdos? Apparently, if you're not completely perfect, you are a stupid idiot that should never speak ever again. That's what TikTok thinks about Emma Chamberlain right now, and I am incensed! Incensed. I-N-C-E-S-E-D. Meaning very angry, enraged. That's what I am! I'm gonna calm down. It's fine. It's not that serious. I'm coming into this because I've been looking at all of these videos on my For You page today, and it's so annoying.
I genuinely don't say this to be rude, but Emma Chamberlain's podcast genuinely is just a girl that needs to go to college.
If you are not familiar, obviously you know who Emma Chamberlain is. Let me show you a picture of Emma Chamberlain. This gal, if you don't remember her, she is literally a YouTube icon. You know, like the scrunchies and hydro flasks and like Save the Turtles. She is like a Gen Z like icon. Now, I didn't watch her videos. Like, I was never like a fan who's like watching Emma Chamberlain, but obviously I know about her in general. So I was very shocked to see online people tearing her apart. And the reasons for it might shock you. But I have what I think is the right take, the good take, and the bad boy take, because that's me, bad boy of YouTube. I'm not trying to do Wakanda forever. I was trying to do, I don't know what I'm doing. And I went to college, AKA university for my Canadians out there. And you know what? I'm still a little bit dumb sometimes, even though I graduated cum laude. That means I had really good grades, and I get to say the C-U-M word, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it's right. It's right here. It's right here. Still haven't taken that out of the paper because, you know, what am I gonna do? Hang that up? That's kind of crazy. But people are going to war with Emma Chamberlain on TikTok, posting clips of her podcast, calling her an uneducated, dumb, stupid, echo chambery, out of touch, loser idiot. Like, they're calling her Emma Echo Chamberlain. Actually, they're not. I just came up with that. That's kind of fun. Don't use that, though. Don't be mean to her with that. Surely somebody's saying that. Surely, right? The basis of this criticism is that she has a podcast where she talks by herself. And she talks about, you know, how she's feeling, things that she's thinking about. And these thoughts aren't novel thoughts that haven't been thought before by somebody. So people say that makes her dumb. We're gonna get into like examples and like criticism and stuff. Let's just get in there. Let me show you.
Just me, or is it starting to feel like romantic love is just an illusion?
Yeah, girl, sorry. It's just you.
That's the tone of the criticism of Emma Chamberlain. Her saying something and then people sitting here going, just like mocking, just being rude. I'm going to show you a couple more. Like in this clip, she's talking about the idea of concepts that have withstood the test of time having some sort of meaning. She's just talking.
That's what I feel like is going on with karma, especially. You know, it still exists today because it's a concept that I think we might need in society.
Okay, so she's just talking about karma, talking about how things that have withstood the test of time, you know, maybe there's something to it. And the people in the comments, because there is this culture of hating her, are saying stuff like me trying to make my word requirement when writing a college essay. Okay, that's funny. This podcast makes me feel so smart. Basically saying that she's dumb. I need her to have just one profound thought. Girl, what? What? This is how my thoughts sound when I'm high. I cannot stand people waffling on about things they think they know everything about, but in reality, they know nothing about. Ha ha ha, dog, what the fuck are you even saying? You might notice that all of these comments are at the latest from a week ago, even though this video was posted July. So people are looking up Emma Chamberlain podcast and then finding clips of her talking and then going, look at how dumb she is. Even though when this video was posted, the caption was, I agree with this, but now it's fun to hate on her. So the main thing that people bring up when they're criticizing her and talking about how she's out of touch, how she's so dumb, how she's so stupid, is the fact that she never went to college. She never got a higher education. So she's dumb. Because these are just boring ass, basic ass concepts that everybody already knows about, and you're not cool for thinking it. And maybe if you've gone to university, you've been able to figure this stuff out earlier. You know, she made this video, Why I Left School. You know, basically her dropping out because, I don't know, she was extremely successful. You know, it would be stupid if you are an extremely successful social media person who university would not help you at all in your career path. The dumb thing to do would be to waste your time and money and not focus on the thing that is actually feeding into your life. Because at that point, if you're going to university just to be like, I'm going to university still, look at how, that in my opinion is out of touch. The fact that you just want the clout, you just want the credit for being somebody who's going to university when you actually don't need it, it's kind of pointless. It's kind of just to fuel your ego and your image. She's doing the real thing, the in touch with what she should be doing thing, by having dropped out of university or not going to university at all because she stopped when she was 16 because she was successful at such a young age. And people are just furious because she's saying things that aren't that groundbreaking. But first, real quick, I gotta thank the sponsor of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. I know you've heard about it before. I have for sure when I've been watching videos, but I know so much about it now, so I'm gonna tell you all about it. Because there's one thing you might not know about Raid Shadow Legends is that they've just increased their roster of already awesome looking champions. There's a brand new rarity, Mythical. Now you've heard of legendary champions. These are a step above. And these puppies have a brand new special mechanic called Metamorph. That means you can change them between 2 different forms. That's cool. For reference, this is what morphing looks like. Regular Cooper? Cooper with a big old sword. Yeah, that's metamorphing basically. And if you think it's cool that I can morph into having a sword, just wait till you can see what these mythical champions can do with Raid Shadow Legends. Because basically they're 2 champions in 1. You summon these from brand new primal shards in the portal. And I'm just letting you know, for your information, a mythical champion's 2 forms both use the same artifacts, accessories, masteries, and blessings. So you gotta be careful how you choose them. It's strategic. These mythical champions are the most versatile champions you've ever seen in Raid. So use strategy, tailor your playstyle, and synergize across both forms. So if you want to get started and experience the coolest thing you've ever experienced in your entire life, use that QR code right there, baby, or click the link in my pinned comment. Click it. And by the way, Raid Shadow Legends is so cool that if you download now, they'll give you a starter pack for free, which is a $30 value. Because you're gonna want to see these mythical champions metamorph. Trust me. Thank you so much to Raid for sponsoring this video. I just love that Raid sponsored me. I love it so much. Back to Emma Chamberlain.
Just me? Or is it starting to feel like romantic love is just an illusion?
In that clip, she's just talking. She's just saying something. You know why she's saying that? By the way, probably because she just got broken up with, or broke up with, she was in a very public relationship with some guy whose name was Role Model. Okay, certainly that wasn't his real name. What's his actual name? Oh, Tucker Pillsbury. So she's, obviously going through a lot when a very public relationship that she's, been in love with somebody, when it falls apart. So she's saying, if romantic love feels like illusion. By the way, that's not true. Romantic love is real. You can experience true love's kiss and you can find somebody who loves you just as much as you love them and you can build a wonderful, fruitful life together. And I know that because I grew up in the Midwest where my mom and dad loved each other. So that's where I'm coming from. Okay, so that's me. And if I have to raise my puppy dog in a world where I think that romantic love can't exist, Gus and I believe in true love, okay? So I disagree with what she's saying there in the podcast, but she's just sad. Aw, okay. Does that make her a bad person? No. Shut up. People in the comments, exactly, it's not all doom and gloom. Okay, but she's feeling doomy and gloomy right then. So I don't know, maybe let her do that in her podcast where it's just her talking about her feelings. But then she does that, and then people like Elizabeth will come out here and say, no hate.
Sorry, it's just you. Like the last video I made, this is absolutely not intended to be hate against Emma Chamberlain.
Even though the tone of her voice is like she's laughing at her for being so dumb. Then Elizabeth goes on to make a Twin Towers length video. Look at that, 9/11. That's a long ass video to just basically say you're dumb and sad. Like that's crazy. And that's, not what she was fully saying in the video because she said it's not hate. Look at this video that was also posted about her.
I genuinely don't say this to be rude, but Emma Chamberlain's podcast genuinely is just a girl that needs to go to college.
Yeah, by the way, this has 5 million views. This has 5 million views, and she's just coming on here going, basically, Emma Chamberlain just needs to go to college. That's why she's so dumb. That's what this entire video is. It's a minute long of just calling her dumb. Well, let's keep going.
Oh, she's dumb. She needs to go to college. She's just clearly a girl that needs to riff ideas with people, and sometimes they need a little feedback, right? Like, I think sometimes she gets a little in her echo chamber.
That's the tone of all of these videos, okay? It's such a, I am on the high ground, and I'm coming down on this dumb, stupid, not university educated girl. Not that university makes you smart, by the way. It's just that you need to be able to riff these ideas off. Hey, I'm sorry, do you think that Emma Chamberlain doesn't have conversations? Like, this is what the criticism is, and it's everywhere, and it's getting 5 million views in all of these comments being like, you are so brave and did it for us all. Emma Echo Chamberlain. Fuck, somebody else did it first. This person's saying, yeah, constructive criticism. Also, like being around a diverse group of peers opens up your worldview so much. Can you just stop for 1 second? The idea that you can't, I don't know, bounce ideas off of other people without being in a dorm late at night, like that's so stupid. By the way, did I ever bounce any ideas off of people when I was at university? No! I was there to get fucking grades and graduate. You know what I did? Talked to people in the same way that I do in my regular life before and after university. I had no deeper conversations at university than I did in any other time in my life, meaning I've had those conversations all throughout my life because I'm the type of white boy to get nice with an empathetic conversation with a friend and learn more about how they feel. And I've been like that, okay? University didn't make me like that. You know what university made me like? Sad when I would see a frat because it made me feel sad. And my opinion, my take is that it's November It's gearing up to be finals season, and all of these people who are going to university feel like, I'm better than you. I'm a freshman, and I'm better. I'm actually at university, something that Emma Chamberlain never did, so yeah, I'm smarter, and nobody's doing it like me, and I'm raising the bar for every intellectual thinker in the world. No, you're not. You are also an 18-year-old dumbass, okay? 18-year-olds, by the way, are dumbass, and I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm just saying that if you're 18, don't have a superiority complex just because you took history and philosophy 101. Like, look at this right here.
Shut the fuck up, bitch, while grown women talking. Shut the fuck up while grown women talking, bitch.
I'm sorry, I love that audio. I can't. But the context of what she's saying is me when Emma Chamberlain shares her philosophical thoughts on her podcast that I had when I was 10. Yeah, you know what? Emma Chamberlain, in my opinion, is not presenting herself as a new age thinker and a thought leader like you, I guess, are claiming that she is. When I was 10 years old, I also thought about how karma must mean something if it standed the test of time. Okay, same. You know what I thought when I was 10 years old also? That I really think lions are cool. And by the way, go look at a picture of a lion right now. Like, look at a 4K picture of a lion. Oh my God, it's so sick. This is not just for boys either. Girls can love lions. If you get up close, like look at the teeth. Come on, come here. Lock in on me right here. Get it out of your mind, the idea of like just a lion as a concept, and look at this thing that actually exists. This is real. Bro is out here walking across the Serengeti. That's cool as hell, okay? But when I see somebody who's 30 years old taking pictures of a lion, I don't go, yeah, I've actually thought they were cool since I was 10. Yeah, I've actually really wanted to take cool pictures of lions since then, so you doing it now is basically pointless. No, people can have thoughts throughout their lives. And then another thing that frustrates me deep to my core, nipple to nipple in my belly button, is people will compare her to Brittany Broski and say, Brittany Broski's actually a genius. That's why Emma Chamberlain sucks. Stan Brittany Broski. Right here. This is why I love Brittany Broski's podcast. She's so knowledgeable about so much. I'm constantly learning things about her while also laughing. The jump from Brittany's back to Emma's after not listening for a while is so wild. Yeah, they're two different people and they express their thoughts in different ways and they just talk about, different things through their life experiences and what they're going through and how they feel. Brittany Broski is amazing. I love her. So much of my life story mirrors hers, except that I never drank kombucha and I'm not a woman. But she's so funny. She's so incredible. And the thoughts that she has about religion and her experience growing up in the community that she did and deconstructing it now, talking about it from that perspective. Yeah, I love that. I love hearing about that. Her interview that she did with Hosier is incredible. Hosier, by the way, I watched her interview with Hosier and he said that his guilty pleasure fast food treat is the little chicken thingies from Shake Shack. I went that night, got them. That man knows how to recommend. Hosier is the Keith Lee of white Irish folk, soul, bluegrass, rock singers. Back off of that. Point being, there can be two women. Are you serious? There's room in this world for two women with a podcast? Wait, two women can share their thoughts and talk about ideas and how they're feeling about certain things in the same world? I thought that podcasts were only for boys. I thought that only Rhett and Link and Joe Rogan and Curtis Connor, weird lineup I just jumped to right there, and Conan O'Brien and fucking Tiny Mika and Cody Ko and Theo Von, suspect guests. I am very suspect on how I feel about him. The whole fucking comedy, everybody has a podcast, but the moment that two influencer Gen Z icon women have a podcast where it's them talking about their thoughts, only one of them can exist and the other one has to rot. That concept is insane. Okay, don't listen to Emma Chamberlain's podcast, but don't go on there basically calling her dumb and uneducated just because you're feeling sad that you have to prep for 13 different finals right now. And everybody's so careful to say, I'm not saying that you have to go to university to be smart, because people can be outside of university and still be smart. They're so careful to say that so that they have this veneer of being woke. Sorry for saying woke. I said the W-O-K-E word. But the idea of, well, if I say it's because she doesn't go to university, it's people are going to say, well, now you're being classist. So then they have to come out in front of it and be like, but I know a lot of people don't go to university, but the reason that she's bad is because these experiences that happen at university, she hasn't had. But then they just go to describe things that everybody can have outside of the context of university. You can talk to your friends late at night and not be paying $15,000 a semester. Yeah, that's true. So I don't buy this BS that that's the actual criticism. I think that they're actually trying to shame her for not being educated. And I'm going to tell you one thing and one thing only. I learned stuff in my history classes, okay? But have those things given me new concepts and new ideas? No! Those new concepts and new ideas are things that I have freely explored on my own time through reading books, getting in there with that literature. I love books. I'm crazy for books. You put one in front of me, my white ass might read it or listen to it on audio. I love audiobooks. Really the main thing that I learned in class, God, I had this one professor, Wojtek. Oh my God. I love Wojtek. He is a Polish man who taught me everything that I have used in my actual career. There was one class called New Media Platforms where we were talking about social media. The point of the class is to make like a successful YouTube career, which is crazy. Look at me now. By the way, I got first place in the class. I'm just saying. But you were supposed to like pitch the concept of your YouTube channel and then have people like vote on who they thought would get the most views. Then workshop like potential YouTube titles and potential YouTube thumbnails, and then make them, share them, try to promote them in certain ways. And then every time somebody had posted a video, he would have like graphs that would, track who's doing what, how certain videos are performing. He was so helpful anytime I had a question. And he really is the reason that I'm here today because of his encouragement and his specific direction on that. But did that class give me a deeper philosophical understanding of the world that's gonna unlock new thoughts and novel ideas that I can then share to the world? No. It taught me how to make good titles, good thumbnails, and be consistent. By the way, those videos are unlisted on my channel because my concept was no stupid questions, where I would basically be Vsauce. It's crazy that I did that. It's crazy. Let me show you a clip. I know you don't care. Just give me this 1 second, please. Probably not that. But did I scare you? Maybe a couple of you were scared, but what? I can't. But I had a pretty good title, pretty good thumbnail, and it got 2.8 thousand views, and Vsauce literally posted a video with the exact same title like a couple weeks later, meaning that I was locked in on exactly what I wanted. And it did great. I had 0 subscribers and it got 2.8 thousand views. Anyways, point being, I had one class that helped me specifically for my career, and it was a very like niche class that most people would only take as an elective. So when people come on here and say that she's dumb because she didn't go to university, but not because of the classes, because she didn't have the university experience, I don't take that into account outright. Like, I think that's an absurd thing to say. The only other thing possibly being is the higher education of a university, and I genuinely do not believe that getting a university education is going to give you all of these new thoughts. If you actually want to be putting that type of stuff into the world, that's an entry point, that's a starting point, sure, but you would have to be the type of person who's interested in that outside of university. So now you're asking Emma Chamberlain not just to go to university, but to also change who she is and start reading books about content, like, you know what I mean? But then, the other major criticism is just that she is out of touch. That I do think holds a little bit of water because, she got incredibly famous when she was really young, and now she is where she is, massively popular, massively famous, massively rich. So some of her life advice doesn't really compute for you. And my response to that is, yeah, obviously. She's not on here trying to be the blue collar working woman's podcaster. Like, that's not who she presents herself as. She is talking just from her own heart. If you wanted that from somebody else, then you would go to somebody else. It's just, that's Emma Chamberlain talking as Emma Chamberlain talks. The draw of that podcast is Emma Chamberlain. You don't go to Emma Chamberlain's podcast and look for, I don't know, the history of rock and roll through a Michael Jackson perspective. Like, you would have to go to somebody who knew Mike and then knows music. What am I talking about? That's such a weird analogy, but like, look at this TikTok.
It's very unrealistic to how real life is. How when she's like, if you don't like where you are, if you feel like you don't belong there, then just leave. It's like, no, that's unrealistic because you're saying to run away from your problems. And you can't just leave a situation.
And this is criticism that I understand to a certain point. Like, yeah, saying just leave isn't, possible for everybody. But okay, no advice is possible for everybody. Like, what are you talking about? The concept of what she's saying is if you don't like something, then leave. I guess the first thing that you would have to jump to is if it's something that you can leave. If it's something that you can't leave, why would you go, let me think of something that I can't leave. This advice doesn't work. Okay, well then that's just not what she's talking about. The very fact that she's saying one of the solutions to a certain type of problem that you're in is to leave assumes that she's talking about a problem where leaving is an option. Like, that's it's so frustrating that people like intentionally interpret something in a way that makes her sound dumb and then say, you're dumb for this. If you have a friendship where the friend is being a constant jerk to you and taking away your happiness, you can stop being that person's friend. Now, when I say that, you don't have to go, but what if that person is my mom and I'm 13 years old and I can't escape? Obviously, that's not what I'm saying. It's so annoying. Oh, you're saying that if something is really, really weighing me down and something's really, really hurting me, that it's okay to leave and you don't have to tough it out and you can actually leave? And there's no shame in that? Okay, but basically I only have $1,000 in my bank account and I live in Iowa, so I can't just go move to Tokyo. So that advice is stupid. She's not saying that for that. Why do you add these extra layers of meaning that she isn't putting on it just to be like, well, it's not gonna work? It's so annoying, and people do this all the time. And this is, only on TikTok, by the way. I'm sure people will tweet about it occasionally, but this is a TikTok thing. And it frustrates me. It's so annoying. You're not better than somebody just because you went to university. You're not. I graduated graduated cum laude. You know why I did that? Because I studied really hard so that it would say that on my diploma, that I keep in my closet. Because what am I going to do? Put it up on the wall? That's embarrassing for me. But there are people who really, really, really want to feel like they're not wasting their time by going to university. And you're not wasting your time by going to university. It's so great. And if that's the life path that you're taking, that is amazing. And, cheers. That's great. That's wonderful. And I support you. And good luck on your grades. Seriously, stop watching this video and study. Just kidding. Keep watching it and watch 3 more videos of mine. Like, that's fine. That's great. But then you don't have to go out of your way to insult and undermine somebody who is saying that university doesn't have to be the path. Okay, you're a freshman, you're going to university, you're living on your own for the first time and feeling like you understand the world more than anybody else in the world and you've got it all figured out. Guess what? A lot of people don't live with their parents. That's the thing that makes you feel different. Like, that's what it is. You took some classes, you took some notes, and you feel like you had new ideas. And then you see Emma Chamberlain coming on here saying, you actually don't have to go to university. And then she says something that you thought of when you were 10 years old, and you just say that makes her dumb. And that if she had gone to university, that she would be smarter. But then you give some BS reason of, well, it's not about being at university because that would be classist. It's about this other thing that isn't defined by you being in university. Do you think Emma Chamberlain doesn't have conversations with peers? Are you stupid? Her talking by herself on the podcast does not mean that she goes through her life like that. Just because you see her by herself talking doesn't mean that that's how she exists. It's so frustrating. And when people throw this criticism out there, it is very easy for people on the outside to look at it and go, you're not actually saying that going to university isn't important to being smart. It is very clear that these people are saying that if you are an uneducated person at a university level, you are stupid and your ideas hold no weight. No matter how many times you want to preface it with, it's not about university, it's about these things that happen at university that happen in everyday life outside of university. You are just having a superiority complex for the first time in your life, and you're taking it out on somebody who has been through a breakup, is really sad, and is addicted to nicotine. Sounds like I'm just roasting her too now. But it's frustrating because she didn't do anything wrong. She's getting videos made about her with 5 million views, calling her dumb and calling her in an echo chamber and calling her out of touch because she is who she is and is talking from her heart. If you don't want to hear Emma Chamberlain talk as Emma Chamberlain and have thoughts as Emma Chamberlain, why are you watching a podcast where Emma Chamberlain talks by herself? I'm gonna end on this video because bro frustrated me. Bro also looks like he could be my brother, and that infuriates me.
My big criticism with the podcast has always been like, I do not think it is the environment for anyone to be pondering and questioning the philosophical meanings of life or just like tropes, whether love exists or not, in their bed by themselves.
Okay, then what do you want from her, bro? By the way, damn it, somebody else said Echo Chamberlain. Damn it! The podcast is her laying in her bed talking from her heart because some people want that. If you don't want that, then don't listen to it. But don't say that is an invalid way of expressing your thoughts. Hey, guess what? A lot of people are in their beds and sad. She is not held to some moral or ethical standards where she has to talk and then consider the ramifications of her laying in bed saying that she's sad. She is Emma Chamberlain. She is laying in her bed and she is sad. That is what it is. You don't need to get in your bright background color podcast saying that she is invalid for what she's saying. It's not the environment to be pondering and questioning the philosophical. Can you grow up for 1 second? Laying in bed sad is the time to be pondering and questioning the philosophical elements of everyday life. That's when you do it. Dude, if that's even your real name. Oh, it's Nikki. Anyways, he goes on to say that basically her conversation should be happening with other people.
The whole point of it is that you want feedback from somebody who doesn't have the same opinion as you, right? Or can provide arguments to things that don't. Like, as a child of divorce, it's not interesting to sit a room full of people who are all children of divorce.
By the way, it's not interesting for anybody to sit in a room full of people who are children of divorce. One thing about a child of divorce is they'll bring it up. They'll let you know. Hey, by the way, children of divorce, go crazy in the comments below. Name your favorite, mom or dad. Or mom or mom. Or dad. Hey, listen, they or they. Like, anybody can be married. And anybody can be divorced. And that's my stance. Legalize gay divorce. Wait, it is legal, isn't it? Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, hey, shout out. But interestingly, you are inventing another podcast that is absolutely different from what Emma Chamberlain is trying to do, and then saying, yeah, that's the only way that it can be done. Maybe Emma Chamberlain isn't sitting there because she wants to have a spirited debate about love. After she goes through a very heart-wrenching breakup, she doesn't want to sit next to somebody that goes, actually, true love is real. Yeah, I've actually been married for 30 years and I'm actually really happy and you just don't have it and true love is real. Maybe she doesn't want that, okay? That's a different podcast. Emma Chamberlain wants to have the Emma Chamberlain podcast. She doesn't want to have the podcast where she sits around children of divorce or people who are not children of divorce. Like, she doesn't want that. So the idea that you can just be like, yeah, her podcast sucks, but if it was actually completely different, then it would be valid. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. This comment, Brittany Broski is the only solo podcast that's valid. Okay. Hey, guess who wouldn't say that? Brittany Broski. I love you, Brittany Broski. You're so funny. So then what you just said about Emma Chamberlain isn't true. You're just insulting Emma Chamberlain, not the concept of a solo podcast. By the way, I'm so frustrated. I'm so incensed over this. I have never watched an Emma Chamberlain video. I'm not an Emma Chamberlain stan coming to defend like the rightful queen of YouTube. Like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying what is right because that's what I do as the bad boy of YouTube. I say what's right, whether or not you want to hear it. And I'm going to say one more thing that's right. Patrick Mahomes is having a down year, and I'm worried about the future of the Chiefs offense. And I love you all very much. Please subscribe.
It's fine to be annoyed by things. It's also fine to be annoyed by people being annoyed by things. And it's fine for people to criticize something, and then for me to see that their criticism is a little bit out of touch, a little bit stupid, and a little bit whack. And then criticize the criticism. Hey, that's allowed. I'm sitting here. Wait, actually I'm standing. Maybe I gotta go back to university, right? Figure out